Welcome to. I fucked it up.
Oh,
Oh
first
my
time.
god! Oh shit!
That's the Celsius right there.
Oh, dude, that's.
Dude, that
Fuck,
was like
man.
The first time.
Yeah,
I
you're like
can't
nervous.
believe it.
That's the first time I ever noticed you
We're
nervous.
keeping it in.
I wasn't. Did I come off as nervous?
Little bit.
I just. I don't know. I just threw a blank.
Yeah,
Yeah,
little-
no, keep it in.
yeah, you had a little
hey,
gaff
for
there,
long-time
Biden.
listeners, they
Okay,
might not know
Biden.
this, but I've not fucked up an intro in 45 episodes.
This is episode 50.
This
50.
is episode 50. Welcome to Let's Get Dumb, everyone, the podcast where I, comedian Joe Kilgallon, and comedian Jonah Jurkens, like to ask dumb questions, tell dumb stories, and make dumb lists. Jonah, how are you?
I'm doing good, Joe. You stuck the landing. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Do you feel like better because I know you struggle with it? Do you
Oh, it's so nerve wracking starting a podcast. It's like it's very. I have to take.
That was the most normal you've answered that.
I know.
You answer that like a normal person.
I know.
Do you know
It was
why?
a big day.
I showed that I'm human.
Yeah.
And now he's relaxed.
Now I'm relaxed. I have to take after take. The worst is like if you have to do like an intro, like hey guys, Joe's not here, whatever. Where nobody's nobody's here to listen, so you have to do it to yourself. Man, I have to do like 50 takes on that. It's insane. It's nerve wracking.
I just always had the process of this is what I'll say and don't think about it and then just fucking do it.
Yeah.
And it's worked out great until episode 50. How about that? All
Yeah,
right, well,
I
you know,
saw it in your eyes. You lose it. It was real fun to watch. I've never seen you lose anything before.
right as I said it, I was like, whoa, what the fuck am I doing? What's next?
I was
well,
like,
we
oh
also
my
were
God.
bantering. We had like a little pre-show podcast for a good 20 minutes. So we're starting a little late as normal. We were just talking about all of our friends' sex lives, it sounds like, which is a weird topic to get onto. Anyway, we got a good one in store for you. As always, we like to shout out the listeners. Thank you for all the support. This is our 50th episode of Let's Get Dumb.
50.
Looks like we made
The
it.
second
Like,
season is
you know.
going a lot longer than the first season.
Yeah, first season we did 12 episodes, took a break, came back with a season 2, and season 2's been going very strong.
We had a couple cliffhangers there for a second.
Yeah, I feel like that's because we care.
Yeah.
You know,
You think we jumped the shark yet?
What do you mean by that? I don't even know what that phrase means. Jump the shark.
It's a famous phrase when like a show kind of like eats its dick and then it just isn't good afterwards.
So I still think we haven't hit our stride yet. I think
Agreed.
I think our best is still in front of us.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out, and we've told the listeners. I think about 5-6 episodes ago, we kind of talked about like,
figure
all
it
right, the podcast is a little bit where I've had people go, well, what's the theme of this podcast? And I'm like, well, it started off with us just trying to, ask dumb questions, just tell dumb stories, and just kind of like be, because too many podcasts are serious. We thought, and we have a lot of dumb shit happen to us.
Embrace our stupidity.
Embrace the stupidity is a great way to say it.
Yeah.
And so, but then for March, we started to come up with some fun shit to do. And it was good because it gave us direction.
Yeah.
Because before we would just get into an episode and then pitter patter and be all over the place. And I don't think it was always the best listen for listeners, but we had fun, which is good. But more, we want everyone to have fun though.
Yeah.
If it's just us having fun, then we might as well just why record? We could just hang out. You know what I mean?
True.
So, but now I definitely think we are going in a good direction. And yeah, so I definitely think the best episodes are still ahead of us. If you're listening for the very first time, go back and listen to some other episodes to get an idea of what we're doing. Episode 50 is going to be a little sillier to start.
Yeah. We're just shooting shit. We have no guests today. We do have a list coming up. I think it's going to be a fun one.
I think it's a very fun list. I'm very excited. We'll tease it right now so everyone holds on and listens to the rest of the episode. We're doing top 5 worst fan bases.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who are fans of things and they're fucking obnoxious and they know the shit out of everyone, and it makes you less of a fan of the person they're a fan of or the thing they're a fan of.
Yeah.
Because there are some things where I'm like, I would like this a lot better if your fan base wasn't a bunch of pieces of shit.
Yeah. Like where I'm like, oh, I like this thing. And then I meet somebody who also actually really likes it. And then they explain it to me. And then I go, oh, I fucking hate you and this new thing.
Yes.
Like it just instantly, so I associate those two things together, which I hate. You okay, bud? You hate your elbow?
I did. I hit my elbow.
Yeah.
A little funny bone action.
Oh, no.
I feel a little off now because
A little bit funny.
I'm going to power through it,
Uh-huh.
We had, by the way, follow us on Instagram, everybody. Got some clips that are doing very well there. We had Daniel Van Kirk on from the Pen Pals podcast. He does with Rory Scovel. Great dude. Wonderful stand-up comedian. Watch his special on YouTube called Rose Gold.
Rose gold?
And that clip is fun. He talked about getting drunk at Chipotle and how other people should do that. We also, the top 5 redheads list, got some fucking people seem to like me going off about that.
Very funny.
One of my favorite clips still ever that I still see people liking is when you talk about KFC.
Yeah, my dead mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
KFC is like your dead mom. Yeah. Once was great and no longer is there.
No. It's not.
Did you hear this news? Walgreens apparently is going to be closing up stores left and right.
Really?
Here's the thing that's been going on. And I talked about this with Pizza Hut when we got into the pizza discussion.
I thought you said I talked with Pizza Hut.
I was
like, you've been talking to Pizza Hut?
I had to call them up and let them know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these American corporations that have just naturally gone to shit. But when they announce that they're doing, well, we got to close, immediately everyone starts blaming everything but the company themselves.
Right.
It's not Walgreens' fault. It's crime. It's not
Right.
Walgreens' fault. It's Gen Z and millennials don't understand how important Walgreens are.
Yeah.
It's not this. It's no. Sometimes the business just gets run like shit, and they deserve. And
I
also,
don't see what CVS should close. They have carpeting. What are you doing? Gross.
You don't like carpeting?
What year is this?
I like. You know what I like about carpeting?
In a high traffic area, do you like carpeting?
Yeah, because if I have to spit, I could spit on the carpet and then just kick it, like rub my foot down so the spit's gone.
This is proving my point more. You know that.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
Yeah, it really is. And the customer service sucks, and it always smells kind of weird, and because people spit in the carpets, I guess. Do you really do that?
No, I used to do that in high school though.
I think
Do you know why? No, in high school, only for like 3 months. I was on the baseball team.
Yeah.
So everyone on the baseball team would dip.
Yeah.
Put a little
You
pinch of
dipped?
tobacco. Yeah, I dipped.
You gonna zen it out now? You going back to zen?
No, I quit all that shit back when I was like a sophomore in high school.
Okay.
But, we would do it in class thinking we're hot shit. And so you kind of have your hand over your mouth and just kind of like spit into the floor and then
Gotcha.
just kick it down because we had carpeted
Oh, you're such a
classrooms.
badass.
Yeah, that's
You know
the
how
only
much
reason I
that's
thought of that.
You never
I
noticed the
did not.
smell of char? Was it cha?
No, it was
Sandlot?
Well, that's like big league. That's like chew.
Yeah.
Like the chewing tobacco. Chewing
Yeah.
tobacco and dip are different.
Okay.
Dip is like they're in the tins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'd get.
Would you do the thing where you're like,
skull,
yeah,
I could do the dipper snap.
Yeah.
Austin's doing a real good one over there. Our producer Austin, shout out to producer Austin. Skull mint was one of my favorite flavors, and Kodiak wintergreen.
I think I'm gonna add a new
great.
person to our category, our list. This conversation is making me realize I need,
Oh, you got
to, add,
another
I need to
one?
add something to my
See,
list.
that's the thing too. I made this list, and I'm
People
like,
that
I
dip.
know a week from now I'm gonna fucking be like, why didn't I bring this up or bring that up? Damn it, I should have done that. But no, like I am more loyal to Walgreens because I grew up 2 blocks from a Walgreens.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I love Walgreens. But the last handful of times I've been in a Walgreens, I've been kind of annoyed. And CVS I get annoyed with all the time because they rarely have cashiers.
Yeah,
And it's
never.
just kind of, it's fucking annoying. You know
It's
what I
annoying.
mean?
Help me out. Ring me out. I got stuff in my hands. Ring me out.
I explained to this one woman who worked there, I go, this is annoying to everybody.
Right.
Thinking she could and she goes, we love it as employees because it gives us time to stock shelves and do all that other kind of stuff.
I was like, oh, fuck
I'm like,
you.
oh, it just makes it so you don't have to fucking deal with customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, I don't.
I hate that when they like say something like that and you're like, well, okay, that doesn't make sense and you're probably understaffed and fuck you for making me feel for you now. Did I tell my Blockbuster story on here?
Go for it, my man.
When Blockbuster closed?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, never mind.
Well, I don't know it. Tell it again, by the way. No, tell it again. Tell it again. I'm sorry.
No, it's the same thing. I told you this at when all the Blockbusters closed. I'm
But
sorry
tell
for
the listeners though, because we might have a new chunk of listeners. I don't remember.
forgive me for repeating the story. It was a very exciting time for me. I collect DVDs, I collect physical media, so I would go there, and I was
Tell the listeners how many DVDs/Blu-rays you have.
2,000. I think more than that now. They're all alphabetized. You have to do it that way, or else you're not gonna find anything. And it's crazy. And one time I got really cocky, Joe. I woke up the next morning and I was still kind of hungover from the night before, still drunk. And then I was like looking at my DVD well. I'm like, I'm gonna take a picture of that and post it on social media. And then I go, if you can name a movie I don't have, I'll buy it. First 5 people. And I bought Justin from Kelly because of this fucking thing.
Oh, that's funny.
And some other shitty ass movies that people guessed right on.
You should do that
Don't
again.
ever do that.
Let's do it on the Let's Get Dumb page. Get a little traffic going here.
Oh, so I
You know what I'm saying?
can buy more things?
I mean, what is it? $11.99 for a fucking Blu-ray nowadays?
Yeah,
Come on.
I don't want the Big Red Dog movie.
Clifford? What's wrong with Clifford?
Huh?
Clifford's great, man.
Did I just hurt your feelings?
You didn't hurt my feelings, but like you made it seem like Clifford's a piece of shit. He's a fucking fun-loving dog.
I like the books.
He can't control that he had a mutation that made him gigantic.
Is that how he got that big?
Yeah, and the guy who's plays the dad in the latest version is
The latest
stand-up
version.
comedian.
The latest version.
They're gonna reboot that shit every 5 years because it's fucking great. That's what people
Jesus
do for
Christ.
great things. It's
Okay.
called a classic.
Father of 2. Father. Would you not burp into the microphone?
Father of mine.
Yeah.
me
Where have you been? Yeah.
Wait, I have something to say. Sorry. I
Oh
had
man,
this
that
point.
smelled. That was a horrible burp. Go ahead though, Austin.
Yeah, that was really loud. I actually bought 2 things from Instagram targeted ads
Yeah?
because I know you like that. I bought 2 board games from.
What'd you buy?
They're like party games where like one's a Russian roulette game where you play with your friends, and one's
Nice.
like where 2 people are in a room and there's a bomb.
Yeah.
But I bought it and I was like, damn, the targeted ads fucking got me. They
Dude,
finally
and
got
then once you
board
click on it,
games.
then they just keep giving you better things.
Yeah,
It's
and
the
now
best.
it's all board games I see, and I'm like,
dude.
fuck. So-
If I have more than a 48-hour period where I don't buy something from a targeted ad, I get sad because I don't think my phone knows me anymore. You know, I just feel like they don't care about me anymore. It's like nobody knows me better than my phone. It's amazing when people are like, "Oh, your phone listens." Yeah, and then it gives me good shit. Like it gives me a little it gives me like a shot roulette thing. That's fun. Or like any of that shit. It's like great t-shirts. This t-shirt I'm wearing right now.
It's a pretty good
targeted
one.
ad.
I like that one.
Fucking sweet.
But you know, my targeted ads, my phone listens to me, but it's listening to me talking to other people being like, why the fuck do you like that? And then they show me that.
Like what?
Like not even, okay, so I was talking to...
I got an outside sauna.
I was...
$300.
That's pretty sweet.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah. You know, I got a
the best
foosball table that keeps showing me and I kind of want to get it.
You gotta get it.
But yeah, anyhow, so like I was talking to a comedian friend at one of the comedy clubs here in Chicago, and she was talking about going to the Brookfield Zoo. So for those of you who aren't from the Chicagoland area, we got two zoos. Brookfield Zoo's in the suburbs.
That one you pay for.
You have to pay for. And then Lincoln Park Zoo is a free zoo in the city. You have to pay for parking, but like,
They have bars in there you can get drunk at.
Yeah. See, I
Very
grew up, I'm a city kid, and my grandmother, when she retired, was a volunteer at the zoo on Thursdays and the Lion House. You know, and so as a kid, I was
She would
always
feed
like,
the lions?
well, she wouldn't feed the lion. She would just be like, "There's that lion." I don't know. She wasn't like, she didn't go to school for it. It's just like something they give to a 60-year-old woman, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
It'd be cool if she fed the lions.
that would be really dope.
Yeah.
If she did feed the lions, I would have let off with she fed the fucking lions. Like,
Oh, this seems like a 2 o'clock
My
thing.
grandma feeds lions is something you talk about,
Right.
you know. So, but I've always been loyal to the Lincoln Park Zoo, and so when she was like, "We're going to the Brookfield Zoo," I'm like, "Fuck the Brookfield Zoo."
Right.
Why would you do that when we have this great zoo right here that our tax dollars go towards all that?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, the Brookfield Zoo has elephants," and I was like, fuck, Lincoln Park used to have elephants. They don't have elephants anymore.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting all these ads about Brookfield Zoo. Come on out for this special day and that special day. And I just want to be like, no, I will never. I don't care what
You're
animals
still
you get.
protesting it?
Yeah, man. I feel like I do like elephants.
I just had a real realization that I have dated multiple girls that have worked at zoos. That's weird. I dated a girl that worked at Brookfield Zoo, and I
Did
dated
you
a
feed
girl
the
that-
lions?
I would have led with that, Joe. If I would have led with that shit. Yeah, that's weird. Where they're just like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the zoo. I was like, okay, enjoy your job. You give me back. But then they would give me the little plastic. We talked about this on a previous podcast, but like the plastic like little gorillas. It's sweet.
Oh, the little gorillas?
That you watch get made.
The mold ones?
Oh, I smell
fucking
those
love
things.
those, man.
I'd smell them. I had a bunch of them. They're great.
I love that toxic plastic smell.
I know, it's really great.
So good.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing when like you break up and you keep them, and then you're dating a new girl, and they're like, "What's that?" And you're like, my ex-girlfriend gave me those. They're like toys, and I was like, "Yeah, well, they worked at the zoo," and then they're like, "That's weird." I'm like, "A little bit," and they go, "Do they feed the lions?" I go, "I would have led with that."
I'm surprised you don't tell your current girlfriends when they ask about ex-girlfriend gifts. I don't know why you don't just be like, how about you just shut the fuck up? Okay? You're here to do one thing and one thing only.
What's that?
Suck my dick.
I knew it.
All right? So
Yeah. Yeah, you were so convincing. I almost want to suck your dick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it pretty convincing?
But so the thing is with the job, to finish my story that I already said before, is that I would go to Blockbuster and I'd get really excited, you know, and I would talk to the guy that's working there and I'd be like, oh my God, isn't this great? Right? This is amazing. Like all these movies are for sale. I've been looking for this Thursday. That's a great movie. Independent movie. And then he was just like, you know, I don't have a job tomorrow, right? And I was just like, okay. I was like, nothing? He goes, yeah, nothing. I'm like, you'll find something. He goes, at another video store. And he,
like that's the only thing he could do.
yeah, I'm like, that's the only thing. He goes, the guy goes, I didn't tell this part of the story before. He was like, I didn't go to college because this was the good job. And I was like, you can work for Redbox? He goes, someone doesn't work inside of that box. You know that, right? I was like, can you get a job at Netflix? He's like, I don't have a college degree. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's your choice, idiot.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man.
I almost did that with Best Buy. I worked at Best Buy for 10 years.
You worked at Best Buy for 10 years?
Yeah, off and on. I got fired 9 times.
Fuck right off.
Mm-hmm.
What was the stupidest thing you got fired for of your 9 lives at Best Buy?
It was a lot of like disagreements, you know? It was just kind of like, fuck this, I'm done. I quit or got fired 9 times. And then I would like be in the store later and like I was always friends with everybody. And then they'd be like, do you want to come back? And I'm like, I don't know if I want to come back. And then they're like, you should come back. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, have you changed? I'm like, I've changed. Have you changed? And they're like, we've changed. We've grown up. I'm like, okay. And then 2 months later, we're back on the same old bullshit.
It's just this relationship you can't get out of.
I can't get out.
You and Best Buy are like Ross and Rachel.
And I look good in polos. Blue polos, khaki pants, look good in that shit.
You know, I'd like to argue against that, but I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking believe it.
Big polo guy.
What I don't get is that you get fired from Best Buy, but you would still hang out at Best Buy after you got fired from Best Buy.
Yeah, someone used to buy DVDs there. I used to steal DVDs there.
I'm the type of guy that if you fire me from a place, I
Oh, yeah.
never step
You're
in there
spiteful.
again. I'm very spiteful.
Oh, no.
And I'm gonna aim to take you down.
Yeah.
There was a restaurant.
So
in-
you'd make sure Circuit City made it.
Yeah.
If you got
I
fired
would
from
have, all
Best
my
Buy.
business would go to Circuit City. I would have redirected all my friends towards Circuit City. I would have spread vicious rumors about Best Buy, that they molest children.
Yeah.
Everything would have been Circuit City.
Yeah.
Yes. But that didn't work.
This is a
someone fired
real
the
like
wrong
this is
person.
real like almanac Back to the Future 2 situation here.
Dude,
going on.
if you're gonna be disloyal to me,
Yeah.
and make me look like a fool,
Yeah.
I'm taking you down.
See, that's my problem. I'm loyal and I forgive easy.
That's a nice quality. I should be more like you.
It's not,
actually.
because sometimes people are like, why are you still friends with them? I'm like, I don't know. They're like, hey, they fucked your mom. I'm like, well, she liked it. You know, I'm like, before she was dead. Nobody fucked my mom.
I went down on her first. I'm joking.
I thought it was good. She's
Sorry.
a little bit of a minx.
I liked it. No, so but like, I worked at a place called. I got a waiter job at a place called Macaroni Grill. And have you heard of
know
it?
what? Yeah, of
You've
course.
heard of it?
Oh, the national
You
chain.
said that like that's not a national chain.
I didn't know it was a national chain.
400
Do you know why?
locations.
Do you know why I forgot it was a national chain? Because the Chicagoland locations don't exist anymore because of this fucking guy. They fired the wrong person, and I
What
got
did
word
you
out.
do?
Look, I'm a
What did
popular
you-
motherfucker, man.
Oh,
I'm
you
very
are.
charming. So here's what happened. I got this job. There was one that like in Skokie, which is a suburb that like borders the city, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I had a couple shifts following people around, and then they gave me this menu test. This menu test
Yeah.
was ridiculous.
Yeah, they're stupid.
I thought it was like a menu test of like what's on the menu. They
you were a
had
server. I can't picture you being a server at Macaroni Grill.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna last there anyway. They were
Yeah.
like, "You got to get your shirt starched every day," and I'm like, "Fuck you, starched every day.
Yeah.
What are we doing here, right?" So,
Can we role play? I'm at a table, okay, and then you're coming up to me.
hi, welcome to Macaroni Grill. Hey,
See, I don't buy it. No fucking way. No fucking way. I need to talk to your manager. This guy doesn't care. Like, give me your manager. Are you some kid fucking with me? Is this a kid fucking with me?
I'd be like, "Welcome to Macaroni Grill. How are we doing this evening?"
I hate this.
You hate the, I'm not doing
It's
good.
so fake.
Well, it is fake because it's not real.
Looks
We're
like
in a podcast
it
studio.
pains you to say that. You seem
All right,
like
all
you'd
right,
be.
hold on.
You
Let
seem
me-
like someone
let
that'd
me
be
set
like,
up.
"Hey, what do you want?"
Let me set up.
Yeah. How would you really want to do it?
How you doing today? I'm fantastic. You're doing great. I think you look amazing. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. What do you say after this pasta? You and I get together in the parking lot, and I earn my tips.
I say, I'll give you a tip now, and I'm talking about the tip of my dick.
Oh, here's some grants for the kids. That's how I would do it for real.
Good.
I hope. By the way, you got to check out the audio on that whisper. No, so like what happened was the fucking menu test was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, okay, I'm not the chef. I don't need to know how many diced tomatoes are in the salad. Like they were like that was the test.
How many
it was
diced
like,
tomatoes?
do we do 1/4 cup of shredded cheese on the Southwest salad, or do we do 2/3 of cup? I'm like, why the fuck do I need to know that?
I'm not the chef.
Also, it says it on the menu. Why
Right.
like, you know what I mean? If someone said, "Oh, what's in this?" I'd be like, just keep fucking reading. It's right there in front of you. It
See,
tells
this is you. Yeah, that's more you. Yeah.
Right? So, but I remember I followed this dude around who I became friends with like 2 years later because he was roommates of a stand-up comedian I ended up becoming friends with.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, "Oh, dude, do you remember me? I followed you around at Macaroni Grill. Like you were like the waiter that was training me." He's like, "I do remember you." The thing was, when he was training me as a waiter, I hated his fucking guts. Of
course.
Because he had this attitude like you don't take this seriously. And I'm like, we're
Macaroni
waiting tables,
Grill.
you fucking douche.
Right,
Like, why
yeah.
do you take this seriously?
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
telling me I'm trying to be an actor. And I'm like, well, you're going to be a fucking waiter your whole life because you give a shit about the wrong things.
Yeah.
You know? And kind of what happened to him.
Yeah.
So like
Dude, when they get you early, man. When I was 16 when I got my first job at Best Buy, and I'm like, I'm gonna work here forever.
because it's a family.
It's a family. They like sat me down, like the general manager sat me down, the district manager sat me down and was just like, hey, this is how much money school costs. This is how much money it costs, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or you could just do what I did and work at Best Buy, and this is how much money I'm worth. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to bleed blue and yellow for the rest of my life. And then they fired me. And then I'm like, oh, fuck this job.
Yeah, I got fired for not passing that goddamn test. And I think they gave me a retry and I did worse.
Really?
And they were like, you're not taking this. I'm like, I studied it. I know how to wait tables, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, but if this
People
is
put up
what's-
with me. What else do you need?
And I go, I'm not going to do, because I already had a waiter job before that, I believe. I don't think this was my first one.
If you
so
go,
I
it's a
got
little place
fired.
called Applebee's. Have you heard of it?
No, I worked at a Longhorn Steakhouse. Or did I work at Longhorn afterwards? I might have worked, no, maybe something like that. Yeah, anyway. Longhorn Steakhouse, they love me there. I worked there for
That seems
a
like more
little
your
while.
type of crowd.
Yeah, steakhouse, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everyone, I was like, I bartended there. I was a surly bartender, so it all worked out real well. But I remember after Macaroni Grill fired me.
Would you do the towel around your shoulder?
Yeah,
Kinda-
of course.
yeah, hell
You
yeah.
gotta- you gotta
hell
be
yeah.
that guy.
Yeah.
And I told everyone about what Macaroni Grill did to me. And then I spread vicious rumors about what they do to their food. Because
Mhm.
people are like, I thought you were going to job Macaroni Grill. I'm like, dude, I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then like my first day, they asked me to go like through the freezer.
Yeah.
And when I was in there, I saw rats fucking. And they
Mhm.
looked at me and didn't care.
And they
Like
just
they
kept
were
going.
like that comfortable. They were like, oh, just
Yeah, you
another
don't eat
guy.
there.
You don't want to eat
You like
there.
rat semen?
You know,
It's
so
an ice
I
cream.
just spread the word everywhere that it's a horrible place to work.
And then
They
it
treat
closed
their
down.
employees like shit. And and that,
Hey, you know
that
what?
location closed 13 months after they fired me.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The one in Milwaukee closed down, and fuck you. Because I
What,
like
you liked
Macaroni
it?
Grill.
Macaroni Grill sucks dick.
Well, when you're
Not the
18,
good
you don't know
kind.
better. When you're 18, you're taking dates there. You don't know any better.
Yeah, but like, that's trying too hard.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I was an 18-year-old woman and an 18-year-old man is taking me to Macaroni Grill, I'm thinking this guy's no game.
Yeah.
No confidence in his game. Because if he had confidence in his game and knew what the fuck he was doing, he'd take me to a Chili's.
Yeah.
We get a skill queso. We try to sneak a margarita in even though we're underage. And then we fuck in the back of the fucking Subaru. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you play it.
That's how you play it.
If I was your friend back then,
Subaru's got big backs.
you would have gotten so much more pussy if I was your friend when you were 18.
You think so?
Oh, I know so.
Oh, can we get a time machine?
Don't you know that?
Yeah.
I would love a time machine.
So, not to keep talking about old jobs, but so the last time I worked at Best Buy, right? I was at a bar. I met a guy that I was his manager, and he was just like, "Oh, I manage this department. I want you. Hey, you should come back. Like, you're great." I was always good at the sales stuff, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing stand up now. I don't think so." And he's like, "What's it gonna cost?" And I just threw out some number, and he's like, "I can do that." And I'm like, "Also, I don't close and I don't open. I'll just sell." And if I have a show, I need to have it off. He's like, yeah, that's no problem. I can do it for you. And I was
Great
like,
deal.
fuck yeah, dude, this is great. And then I moved to Chicago, and I was like, oh, I'll just transfer to the Best Buy in Chicago. And I transferred over, and then they sat me down, and they're like, all right, so Jonah, yeah, you've been with the company for a long time. And I go, yeah. And they go, we looked at your records. You've been fired like 8 times. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, what happened with that? I'm like, we just have differences sometimes. And then sometimes it's like, sometimes I run into a doorknob and sometimes I don't, And then they were like, and we're looking at how much you get paid an hour. And I was like, yeah, so there's like a cost of living difference. So like, how much more am I going to get paid? And then the guy looked at me and goes, I don't even get paid this. And I was like, oh, so no cost of living change? And then he's like, write down your schedule. And I wrote down my schedule, and he goes, you said, you're not scheduled to open or close. And I was like, yeah, that's the deal. And then they're like, who the fuck are you? And I was like, I'm Jonah fucking Jurkens. I'm Jonah fucking Jurkens.
There you go.
And then they're like, that's not what you're doing. You're opening now. And I had open and clean and stuff, which I didn't have to do before. So then I was like, fuck this place. And then I would you only get a 30-minute break, but I would go to the bar next door and I'd get fucked up for an hour.
Nice.
And I'd come back just hammered all the time because I hated that job. And then my greatest theft is at Wrigley Field, they're giving away a $50 gift card if you spend over $500. And I worked in computers, right? Which is funny because I knew nothing about computers and I lied all the time. It was great. And so I think there's enough time I can talk about this. So there would be a lot of people from Brazil that would come for conventions. And because computers are cheaper here, they would always buy a shit ton of computers. So I was like, I can, and the $50 gift card coupon was rechargeable. You can keep using it. So I had it in my bag. I would have it like next to the register. And then I would like ring out their shit because they wouldn't buy any accessories that made me look good. So I was like, fuck them. And then I would ring out the $50 gift card, and then it would happen in the middle of the receipt, right? Between the actual receipt and the survey. So then I would rip the survey off, and I'd rip that piece off where it said they got a $50 gift card, and I'd staple it, and I'd be like, here's your computer, here's your receipt. And then I would say, oh, and then also like, give us a survey. My name's Jonah, be great. And I did that for like weeks. I ended up getting like $6,000 worth of gift cards. And then they fired me because they were just like, I don't think this is your job. Like, you hate it here. And I was like, this sucks. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, we're just gonna let you go now. And I'm like, wait, do I still get my discount? And they're like, it's active for 2 more weeks. So I went to a different Best Buy, and then I bought a television. I bought everything with my discount, and I used all the gift cards on that. And I had him a stack of gift cards. This was the greatest stuff I've ever had.
Dude, that's phenomenal. Mad respect for that.
Yeah, I miss stealing.
Sticking it to a corporate person.
Yeah, fuck Best. I mean, I love Best Buy. I still go there all the time. But I really do. If you're hiring, I'll come back. I'll be your manager, whatever. I can sell service plan. I'm really good at it. Trust me.
Isn't it amazing with certain jobs, though? You're like, I'm not going to open, I'm not going to close. When I bartended, I actually really love bartending.
Yeah.
What made me never want to bartend again was
Closing.
All the side work.
Cutting limes.
Where it's like cutting limes, fucking, cleaning the glasses, like replacing the ice,
burning ice. Ugh.
Cleaning the bottles, cleaning the beer lines, all changing the kegs, all of that shit. I was just like, I don't want to do any of that. If it was just serve the drink, here's your drink. I'll chat with you, make you feel fucking awesome, so you keep drinking.
Yeah.
I'll upsell you on the drinks. I'll fucking convince you to buy shots.
Yeah.
I'll do everything I can to the point where you're drunk enough not to drive home and sue the bar.
Right.
Like that was my thing there. You know what I mean? I did almost get fired from this one bartending job because the cops did a sting about selling our bar sold cigarettes, about selling cigarettes underage. So I'm like, it was busy. It was right when like the shifts changed and more people were coming in after work. It must have been like 5:30 on like a Thursday or something. And I was a daytime bartender. I'm getting ready to like cash out and do a bunch of things. And this dude was like at the end of the bar, but like not like he just came in. And I thought like he'd been in the bar for a while. And I'll reveal who I thought he was. And he was like, hey, can I get a pack of like Marlboro Reds or something? I'm like, yeah, sure, man. You know, gives me the cash, give him the cigarettes. Right. And then all of a sudden, like 3 minutes later, a guy goes, hey man, can I talk to you? He's like, kind of had a weird vibe to him, and he like shows me his badge. He's like, yeah man, you just sold cigarettes to a minor. You didn't card him.
Oh god.
And then like they brought my boss in and all this, and it was a $500 fine for the bar.
Jesus.
And the owner of the bar said, you know, I've got friends who own bars, and they say like when that happens, you get fired.
Yeah.
They fire you for that shit.
Yeah.
But, like you are a popular bartender. I think you made an honest mistake, so I don't want to do that. But like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I said to him straight up, I go, I'll tell you, I card. The reason I didn't card this guy, I thought he was our fucking busboy. Okay. Tell me he doesn't look like Aramis, our busboy.
Yeah.
And then the fucking
I thought he was the guy from Rookie of the Year, man.
So the owner fucking looked at the surveillance camera and he goes, yeah, dude, I thought it was him too. I thought it was him too. Because the whole time I'm watching surveillance being like, when does this kid come in?
You're like, fucking right.
When does he come in? And then he just saw me hand the dude a cigarettes. He's like, oh, fuck. All right.
Yeah.
And then he was fucking cool with me then at that point.
Nice.
But yeah, it was one of those things where it's like, I felt like a fucking real dipshit. What could you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You say, Austin, you put your finger up.
Do you have any fun cigarette getting fired stories?
There was a pause from Jonah, and I was signaling like now is probably a good time to move to the list.
All right, you can cut that part or leave it in. That's exactly
So
what I was
you
going
look
to
like
do.
you're pointing at yourself.
By the way, I was
no. I was like,
yeah, because he was grabbing for his phone. That's why there was a second pause.
Our signal for that.
I was grabbing for the phone because I'm getting the list out.
I saw him ready to tell.
I do want to tell a story. I didn't get a chance to tell last week. Just to prove, I told you about this, but to prove how fucking dumb I am. Well, first off, Joe, when we were talking about this list last night, I ended up getting kind of drunk last night, and then I woke up being like, what was the list that we were talking about? And I completely forgot, which proves the fact, I'm sorry if I said this before, why I'm such a good secret keeper is because people tell me secrets when we're out at the bar, and then I get so drunk I forget about them the next day. And I was like, Joe told me something, and then I never bring it up, and then you'll be like, hey, do you remember what I said? And I was like, no. And they're like, it's a good guy. I'm like, yeah, because I'm an alcoholic.
That's why you're good. You put it in the vault and then you forget the combination.
Dude, you forget how much performing fucks with your brain in a normal talking sense, like in a conversational sense. So I was performing at Laugh Factory, and there was this huge dude in the middle of the audience, and he was like being all loud and shit. And then I started talking. He was like having a good time, but he's like it was like a little too much, you know. So I was like, "Hey, dude!" I started talking to him, and he said something, and he had a really low voice. I'm like, "Wait, say that again." And he said it in his voice, and I was like, "He sounds like you had a huge dick." And then he goes 9.5 inches, and I was like, "You just had that ready to go? You just knew that?" And he goes, "When you have a 9.5 inch dick, you have that ready to go." And I'm like, "Well, that makes sense." And then the whole rest of my set was me and his dick, basically, like talking about it.
This fits our podcast perfectly.
Perfectly. But this is the first time talking about dick.
Yeah,
I think so. And then I go, in my set, I'm like, I've been Jonah Jurkens. His dick is 9.5 inches, and he like loved it. And then afterwards, he comes up to me, and he's this huge dude, huge black dude. And he find out later he's a professional football player. He played for the Chiefs, right? And then he played for the Lakers after that.
The Lakers?
I said Lakers, didn't I?
You did.
Raiders. Excuse me.
There you go.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Like, man, how do we not know this amazing two-sport athlete?
Yeah, he was a catcher. He was a catcher for the Lakers.
There we go.
This is proving. This is going to prove
it's like that Ferris Bueller's Day Off when like the Cubs game's on and he's like, "What's the score?
Yeah.
Nothing. Who's winning? The Bears."
Yeah,
like, fucking moron.
Yeah. This is gonna help to the end of this story. So, dude, this is the most charismatic guy I ever met in my life. He has this like tiny girl with him. He keeps telling like, I don't know how she can take my dick. It's insane. And I was just like, are we still talking about your dick? This is crazy. And then, of course, he shook my hand. His hand engulfed my hand. And he's retired. And, I'm talking to him. And he's just like, we're getting really drunk. And he goes, yeah, man, like, I go, what are you doing now? He goes, I got a couple of businesses. I was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. He goes, yes, a lot of people think us football players we're stupid. He's like, some of the smartest people I know are ex teammates of mine. Like, we're all really doing well for like the landscape has changed with all of it. He goes, I was even smart in college, man. Like, I went to all my classes. I got straight A's. Like, you give me a play and I memorize it right away. And then he said that and I looked at him. I go, you did theater in college? And he goes, football plays. And I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, you
Right.
dipshit.
Right. That's what I meant. Ha ha. Look at me. I'm funny.
You're thinking, man, this guy memorizes scripts too.
Yeah.
What
I was like, this guy played sports, went to a business school, and he fucking did plays. He's a theater major.
Triple threat. That's the real triple threat right there.
Wow. What an amazing guy.
You just showed that you're more of a theater kid than a sports guy.
I know. It's so
pretty
fucking
much did.
embarrassing. And I played sports. And it's just because I've just been around comedy for too long. It just changes the way I think about things.
The way you said I played sports, I felt like you were trying to convince yourself that you actually did.
No, I did. I just never
played sports.
I played sports. I
did.
just never
played
grew.
them.
That was my
there.
problem.
Well, you're average sized man, or more stronger than the average
More than
dude.
average size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
By
but
the way,
I
I
never
shook a
grew.
dude's hand once that made me feel like you talk about shaking that dude's hand. Here comes a name drop: Terrell Owens, T.O.,
wow.
famous NFL wide
Yeah.
receiver. Great, one of the best wide receivers of all time, probably top 10 at least, maybe top 20. I did this sketch thing in LA. It was for there was fantasy football draft thing, and he surprises our fantasy football draft. We all played like normal people, but it was like 10 stand-up comedians got cast for it because we knew like the one dude was producing it. And we didn't know T.O. was going to be the surprise, though.
Yeah.
Surprise. And so I was talking to him, and then, I got a picture with him. And when I shook his hand, I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And
Huge
he's
hands.
not super tall. I mean, he's like 6'4",
Yeah.
6'5", but I'm 6'1". I think my hands are, I was curious. I'm probably have average size hands, maybe slightly above for my size.
Right.
But not big. I would never say I have big hands. I have huge feet, though. Fucking long toes. Creepy. I could go up off a tree like a gorilla.
I hate that.
You know? You hate my toes?
I hate you saying that.
It's true. I got really long. I could pick up pens and shit
That's
off the
gross.
ground.
Don't
with my
ever show
feet.
me that.
I'm sorry. Well, maybe one day if you play your cards right, you'll see it.
All right.
But it's weird, dude. It is weird when someone shakes your hand
Yeah.
and they're fucking shaking
Yeah,
your
and you're like, oh my
forearm.
God, it dwarfs your hand. That's what this guy did too. And he was just the most charismatic, charming dude in the world. And I was just like, oh man, I want to hang out with this guy. So we got a little drunk that night. And then of course, this idiot is so smart to fuck with me. I think he was fucking with me. He DM'd me and he's like, hey, I'm going to the Cubs. I'm going to the Cubs game. I know they're playing the Giants because I know a bunch of guys on the Giants. And he was just like, oh, I'm going with that girl. And we thought you're fun. If you wanted to join, let me know. And I'm like, oh, I'm podcasting with Joe. And I'm like, I'm podcasting. I can let you know afterwards. Doesn't respond. And I respond pretty quickly. Doesn't respond. Doesn't look at it. And then of course we finish our podcast and I'm like, hey man, if you're still out, let me know. Didn't respond. And then I'm sitting there looking. It's a girl doesn't text you right away back. And you're like, what do I do here? I want to hang out with this guy. And then I was just like, hey man, just checking in. like such a little bitch. And you know what fucking makes me the most mad ever is, what's really frustrating is when somebody calls you. I hate this. When somebody calls you and you just miss their phone call and then you call them back and they don't answer. It's like, what did you call? Did you fall down a well while you were dialing? It's like, what is wrong with you? It's it's insane.
It's even more.
That pisses me off more than anything.
No, dude, I am on your fucking team with that one. It's even more infuriating because nowadays you just don't get a lot of phone calls.
Right.
So if there's a phone call,
Someone better be dead.
Right.
Or I better get a gig or something.
It has to be urgent.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I can't remember the last time a friend called me on the phone and it wasn't shitty news.
Oh, I have friends that are I just rather call. I'm like, how old are you?
Yeah.
You're insane. I also it's so.
Actually, there's one comedian that calls and it's usually about a gig, but he's the only person I'll answer for. But everyone else, it's like, dude, just text me.
I
Text.
had a friend in college that would call you and then act like you weren't carrying the conversation. He'd be like, I get a phone call. His name was Nick. And I'm like, hey, Nick, what's up? And he goes, nothing. And I was like, you doing all right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what you doing? He goes, just sitting. I go, you fucking called me. What do you want? Because this is not fun for now I have to carry this fucking conversation with you idiots.
Would you actually say that or do you just pitter patter around?
I pitter patter around like a
Yeah,
bitch.
but that's where my psychoticness comes in.
Yeah.
I try to tell people, look, I've got a lot of flaws and I got bad shit that I'm working on.
Thank you for saying
but
that.
This is the thing I'll never work on. If you do something that fucking dumb, I will fucking call you out on it.
Dude, it's the worst.
And you need to.
Yeah.
You fucking need to.
I hate when people are just my downstairs neighbor, the gay guy that I went out with at one time. He was also drunk in fairness to him, but he's also he's just yeah, I this is what I do for my job because I'm just really, I'm just really good at having conversations with people and so they always have me take people out. It's great. And in my, just like that in my head I was just like, this conversation is horrible. It's either as comedians we're just a little bit better or I don't know what's going on.
No, comedians are the best conversationalists, I believe, because we know how to self-edit. We understand while we're talking to you, if you're starting to drift
I think a lot
off,
of listeners would argue with that.
Well,
with
I
both
mean,
of us.
a podcast, we're doing it live. We're trying to give Austin the least amount of work as possible. But in live human interaction, if I'm one-on-one talking to someone and I could see them drifting a little bit.
Yeah, you can feel.
I know how to spice it up or wrap it up.
Yeah.
Spice it up or wrap it up.
But I will say the bad thing about comedians is they just love to talk. They love to just
not
keep
me.
talking.
I like to listen.
You are lying through your fucking teeth.
We've got a fun one.
You are a good listener, though. You are a good listener. You choose to be.
I'm all right. I was excited with this one. I came across this one because this certain fan base was going to get. When I'll get to that.
What's our list again?
This is top 5 worst fan bases, and we each have our 5, and we could try to build it together. But it feels like we could just each have our 5 with this one.
I say build it together, though.
I know you like to build it together, but sometimes it gets a little bit tough for that because you have
That's
qualifications. I have one qualification. I have one question that you might have, and I'm going to tell you what it is going to be for me. I did not want to do any political figures fan bases.
Oh, figures fan bases.
Like a politician's fan base.
Okay. Fair enough.
Because it'd be too easy.
You don't want to tell people that you're a Trump guy.
If they don't know it by now, you
can tell.
Yeah. But no, my thing is I've in the year 2024, if you're obsessed with a political figure, if you're like, I'm a huge Trump guy, I'm a fucking huge Biden, you're kind of a fucking dork. Because what have you, if you learned nothing, it's 2024. To be obsessed with a fucking politician is just so incredibly lame to me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't have people you support or you're like, oh, I admire this or whatever. Yeah, fine. But like in this day and age, it just feels like, what are you, in a cult? Like, it's just like
It seems like you're staking a very good case for these people to be on the list.
Well, they would
because I did have political people that are into politics. Fuck you.
Oh, just people in the politics in general. Oh, so you got both parties in that one.
I got both parties in there.
All right,
not a specific party, but
that.
Just people that just have to. I don't care if it's not. This is gonna sound bad.
No,
I know that's important.
It's good to care about issues.
It's very important, but
there's
also
a lot of
I don't want
to
to talk about it. I want to hear about you and your life and your experiences, and I don't want to hear about how the government's coming after you for some reason, right?
Yes.
Because I don't give a fuck. Because also, sadly, we are middle-aged straight white men. Like our lives are fine. Like if you're a white guy and you're complaining about shit, shut the fuck up.
True.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And also, I don't care. It's never gonna affect you at all. Do you have a vagina? No, it's not going to affect you, right? Do you live in like you? Fuck you.
Yeah, it's boring.
And stop talking about it. I don't want to. I want to hear something funny. You know, I don't want to fucking hear about these idiots and their fucking agenda.
It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. That's why I just, I used to do a little political humor when I first started doing stand up, and I've had a few people who are like, "How come you don't really touch on that anymore?" I'm like, "Cause it's boring."
Yeah,
I find it not funny anymore. It's just fucking boring. It's everywhere you go.
You went to school for that.
Social media. I had
You're poli-sci, right?
Yeah, I was a poli-sci major.
I'm glad that you're progressive in your poli-sci.
Yeah, 46 credit hours. Nice, you like
Classic.
that? Very good, man. So yeah.
So I think all automatically we agree.
Yeah, I would specifically say the people who are Reagan heads. The
Still?
people today are obsessed with Ronald Reagan. He's been dead for 50 fucking years now. And I see people wearing the shirts. They talk about it online. People are still obsessed with Ronald Reagan. And it's creepy.
I feel like not a lot of...
He's their Jesus.
Surprisingly, you think to be more Obama heads out there.
Yeah.
That are like very vocal about it.
I will say this: people who are big Obama fans, for the most part,
I think just universally everybody just liked him. So it's
yes, he was very liked. So it's almost like uninteresting to bring up. And as far as the president goes, he's one of those bands where it's like, yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
But not good enough where you're going to get into arguments about their greatness.
Yeah.
And I feel, that's the thing too.
Okay.
And the last thing to summarize it, obviously Trump people are like insanely into him, and they don't get, that's why they had trouble understanding why Biden won last time. Cause they're like, I don't see anyone with the Biden flag. And it's like, well, that's not normal.
Yeah.
Trump was the first president to sell flags with his fucking name on it. Right.
Yeah.
I know people who are like, I voted for Biden, but I hate him.
Yeah.
Biden sucks. Trump sucks. That's the last thing I'll say on this. They both suck, and you just realize that already. Grow up.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up.
So you're saying vote for that Kennedy guy?
Vote. Don't vote. Burn every election. I want anarchy. Fucking burn it to the ground. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Don't do that. Let's Get Dumb does not support any kind of revolutions in any
You support
way, shape, or
anarchy,
form.
Joe. You would love that. I think, you would support anarchy because you want the world to burn, because when it builds back up into a into apocalypse style, you'd be a leader.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like a leader of like Gas City.
I was a natural leader. I won student rep 4 years in a row in high school, and I didn't even run anytime.
Yeah.
I was voted in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember senior year being like, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to do it last year. And they're like, votes are the votes.
Did you go to poli-sci because you wanted to be in politics, or did you wanted to like comment on politics?
I had a grandfather who became a judge.
You wanted to be a judge.
Uncle was a lawyer, so I thought maybe I'd go into law because I was in my brain. All it takes to be a lawyer is be really good at memorizing things. You're just memorizing what the laws are and how to interpret them and how to argue for them. And I like to argue, so I thought, maybe I'll be a lawyer. And then I got really into that West Wing show, and I'm like, maybe it'd be cool to like be like a political consultant and run campaigns. Because what's a campaign other than talking shit?
I like picturing like high school Joe in his macaroni grill shirt, just like I can't wait to get home to watch the West Wing.
Oh, dude, I was 28 when I got fired from Macaroni Grill, so I don't know. Right now.
Okay.
I wasn't that old, but I was definitely like 21 or 22. But yeah, I got into that show. But as far as like running a political campaign, sounded fantastic to me. Because what is a political campaign other than shit talking?
True.
And I'm a great shit talker.
You are.
So
would you be like comptroller?
No, because that's like a work job. That's
okay.
like you're like doing administrative work.
Right.
I just wanted to be the guy. Alderman would be great because you're just running a neighborhood. I would be a great mayor of Chicago because I got big ideas. But if I could go back to the whole running a campaign thing, think about this. Your opponent says, vote for me because I'm going to do this. And I go, you're not going to do shit. Let me tell you why. Like, and I would just feed the best lines to my guy being like, hey, if he says this, you fucking say that. You tell him his mom's the fat bitch, not your mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And be like, hey, Lou, let's stop talking about moms. Let's get off of moms because I just got off of yours.
Oh, shit.
I would have all those fun
snap books.
Oh, dude, I wrote the snap book.
I had all three of them. Really?
Well, I get royalties still.
Good for you.
You're welcome.
I can't believe you know that reference. Holy shit. That's a reference that not a lot of people know about.
I know it, dude.
When you watch Gangs of New York, are you like, I could have been one of those guys?
One of those leaders?
Yeah. Like I could have been the butcher.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Think
Well,
so?
I would have been on the Irish side in that one.
Right.
Clearly.
Yeah, I could be John C. Reilly or whoever it was. No, Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
I think I'm wrong about that.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Yes, I could have been Liam Neeson.
Yeah, you're like, he kind of looks like you in that film a little bit.
He definitely looks more like me than any other film.
What would be your weapon? A sai?
I would have two short axes like fucking Brendan Gleeson's character had.
Oh, fun.
And I would just be...
Yeah.
Actually, Bill the Butcher had an axe. Smart one.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Liam Neeson had a cross with a sword at the end of it or something.
It's pretty fucking sweet, though. Visually, that's pretty sweet.
You know, he was kicking ass, and Bill the Butcher was just willing to fight dirty because he put the other guy in front of him and then stabbed him around the other guy.
I think I'd want to be like the sword and a cane guy.
Yeah, could be.
But then I would sing Boys and Men songs. Like, and that'd be our gang. We'd be Boys and Men, but we have knives in our canes.
Oh, okay, I like it.
Yeah.
It.
And then we just sing the end of the road before we kill somebody.
Like they did in the 50s, those doo-wop gangs.
Yeah.
They would like be like snapping fingers over a trash can that was on fire, and then they would start fucking stabbing people.
Yeah. And then I would get down on one knee and stab them, and then I'd sing, "Oh God, give me a reason I'm down on bended knee."
That's kind of romantic in a weird way. I
bit.
like it though. All right, let me lead us off. I'll lead us off. Here's what I think is.
So I think we do both agree that political people in general are annoying and fuck you.
Yeah, we'll see
when they're really into it.
We'll circle back to those people if we're going to put them in the list.
Not on the list, but
yeah,
we see you. We see you.
We see you. I'm going to lead off my list. This is my number 5 worst fan bases, and it is Star Wars. Here's why I have Star Wars fans in there. And it's not like an anti-nerd
Because you don't
thing.
like virgins?
I really don't. I can't relate to them. It's like, how are you not good at this thing that we were put on the planet to do? Fucking pussy. Get it? Fucking pussy. I'm calling them a fucking pussy, but it's also about fucking pussy.
Explain.
You'll figure it out when you get older. So I think Star Wars fans have morphed into this thing where it was like, this was a movie that was aimed at like people from the ages of 8 to 18 when it originally came out in 1977. You guys have become like fucking, there's like 48-year-old dudes on the internet who get angry over every new one. There's always like, this person ruined it. And then every now and then they throw you a crumb and give you something fun like Rogue One. And you're like, no, it's back. It's fucking back. And it's just too much.
People only like Rogue One because of the last scene.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass.
That whole last thing was pretty dope.
Actually, the whole movie's pretty good.
When Darth Vader comes out, I liked Rogue One.
Why is you keep our producers looking at us weird?
It's not, the whole movie's fucking phenomenal. What do you mean just the last scene?
Yeah, I thought Rogue One
the
was
last
great.
scene was almost too much. It was almost like you had a
too
perfect
good?
movie and they're like, yeah, we have to have a lightsaber.
I think we found a Star Wars fan over here.
And look, I'm not saying all Star Wars fans. There's some. And I'm not saying you're wrong to like Star Wars.
Like the people that dress up for the movies?
But even them, they're like fucking sports fans who wear the player's jersey. I don't even look at them badly. I'm talking about the reaction they have and how everything is so life and death over their precious little franchise.
Oh, so they like the whole the fanfare. They want the fan. What's the word I'm looking for?
Fan service?
Fan service.
Yeah,
the ones
it's
that like I know how to write a Star Wars movie. It's like no, you fucking don't. Because guess what? The guy who created Star Wars doesn't know how to write a Star Wars movie.
It's either accept the fact that it's not what it was when you were a kid, when it probably is what you were when you were a kid, but you have a bills now and life's a little more challenging.
Can I say
for
something
you.
here?
What?
They never were good. They're all bad movies.
Probably.
Other than Return of the Jedi.
Probably, but they're also aimed at 8-year-olds.
Empire Strikes Back, not Return.
Yeah.
They were originally aimed at fucking 12-year-olds. These were movies that when they were written to come out was like dads could take their sons and this would be a cool little thing. And they were fucking with new technology. Exactly. And so now the way they react to every latest Star Wars whatever entity, because it's such a billion-dollar thing. There's cartoons, there's the shorts, there's the live action Lego, the stop motion shit. There's like every little thing about it. They have to get so fucking pissed off.
Right.
Even if the video game gets one little thing wrong. And it's like, learn to enjoy it or stop watching it. That's my problem with that.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Stop fucking watching if it brings you
They
this much misery.
Yes. You want to find where they fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop then.
Yeah.
You're just bringing nothing but negativity to yourself and everyone around you. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah. Like the people are just like, oh, you shit on all the originals by re-releasing or not releasing the old edits, right? Which is insane.
Yeah. So that's my number 5. What
Can
do
I
you
tell
got?
you why I don't like Star Wars
sorry.
movies? Because, and I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on the podcast already, but I'm gonna do it again. I saw Spaceballs first. And I love Spaceballs. That is my favorite movie, especially as a kid. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Didn't know any of the references because I never saw Star Wars as a kid. I wasn't even aware of what they were. And then I went to school and we had show and tell, and somebody had a Star Wars book. And I remember, it was one of my first memories. I remember thinking, what is this thing that's ripping off Spaceballs? And all I could think about was that. And then my mom was like, no, Star Wars is a real thing. And I watched Star Wars and I was like, this is not Spaceballs. This is stupid. And that's why I hate, because they will never live up to what Spaceballs is.
Totally justified in your hatred. That would fucking fire me up too.
Yeah.
So what do you got?
You're going to hate this one. Huge fans of Nirvana.
You're kidding?
No, it's on there. I didn't know you're going to wear the shirt. I'm going to tell you guys, you guys suck.
There before, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear him out.
One, I wanted to fuck with you, but 2, I actually believe it. I'm going to tell you guys, they are not that good. Their songs aren't that great. You guys it's the same thing. It's like, you fingered a girl and then you listen to Nirvana and then now they're the greatest band ever. And they weren't. They're good. They're fun. They were a trendsetter. But guess who else was? The Spice Girls. They were a trendsetter. That doesn't mean anything. And the writing is fine. The mumbly bitch. And it's just like, oh my God, I love wearing flannels around my fucking waist and doing heroin. Fuck you. And it's like, yes, they were good. 30 years ago, it's like, give it up. They're gone. I'm sorry.
Wow.
And also be happy that he died. Do you think he's going to be creating good music now? That'd be insane.
That was an excellent point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good button on that.
And the only good thing that came out of Nirvana is Hole.
Hole was around before or at the same time as Nirvana. Wow. That was a lot.
Yeah.
Austin,
I stand by that.
I feel like you agree with him, Austin.
I respect them, but I don't listen to them because it's just like, I don't like, they started the trend and I'm petty at them for starting that trend.
The whiny.
The Seattle grunge trend.
See, that's the thing though. I think Nirvana gets swept up in the whole Seattle grunge era. If you actually listen to those bands,
Pearl Jam's better.
No, they're, if you want to see someone fucking lose on a podcast, say Pearl Jam's better than Nirvana to me. Pearl Jam, Stone Temple Pilots, although they weren't Seattle, but they're part of the grunge thing. Soundgarden, Alice in Chains.
All great bands.
Look, though, all of their singers do the thing that Austin thinks Nirvana started. And the movie Ted does a great job making fun of it, where it's like everyone in the 90s just stretched out their vowels, where it's like A-E-I-O-U. That's what they did. Those guys all had their... That's those bands. Kurt Cobain did not do that with his voice. He might have been a little mumbly on a couple songs here or there. I'll agree. A couple songs here or there. But you're also... Name 5 Nirvana songs. Name 5 Nirvana songs.
You know what? I can't because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because you don't... I'll tell you, man. This is going to take a dark turn. Do you not like them because of the heroin connection with Kurt Cobain?
Oh, I don't give a shit about that. That makes it cool. Why would I hate that?
Honestly, the conspiracy
Jonah,
of his death makes it cool.
I don't know if you...
I will say I like the documentaries behind his death. I will say that's fun.
I just think...
I tried to get Nirvana. I wanted to. I'm not saying... You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. Weird Al's parody of that song is better.
Well, they had to sign off on they loved it, so they were cool with it.
Yeah.
But I really think a lot of people I know who hate Nirvana these days just see everyone wearing the shirts, and they think like it was depressing music. It wasn't depressing. Their end was depressing. because people were sad about it. So people then retroactively think they were depressing music. They weren't. And they get swept up in the, is that 90s sound? Not really. Kurt Cobain barely wore a flannel. He wore a flannel like one time in one photo. He wore a cardigan. He was more known for that green cardigan. He wore a black and red Freddy Krueger sweater a lot. Yeah. So there's just a lot of stuff that people rewrite the history of. And for you to compare to the Spice Girls,
you're proving my point more than anything.
You're rewriting the history because I guess I understand being like annoyed by their fan base today because it is weird seeing 17-year-olds wearing Kurt Cobain and Nirvana shit.
It's more like 50-year-olds that can't get over that they're not around anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm over it, but like I still think they were by far the best band of the 90s. I think Kurt was the best songwriter of the 90s. Yeah. And by the way, for you to compare them to the Spice Girls who didn't write their own music, couldn't play a fucking instrument, to a guy who took Michael Jackson off the #1 spot, which was unheard of. That style of music was not mainstream. So for a band that was considered punk alternative / punk rock, and then the new thing, they called it grunge, for them to knock Michael Jackson off the #1 spot was insane. It redefined the course of music today.
Right.
So many bands that people love today would not owe everything to fucking Nirvana.
Right.
They do.
You know, if you replaced everything you said right now with Yoda and Han Solo, you'd sound like a Star Wars fan.
I'm saying positive things where the Star Wars fans would be like, well, here's where fucking Yoda and Han Solo went wrong.
Okay.
I'm just shocked that Nirvana fans was your choice for toxic, because I just don't see enough of them even posting things
that annoy me.
But you know what it reminds me of? Like, I also like Oasis a lot, and people go, Wonderwall.
That was on the list.
But those two, it's funny to me when people hate on a thing they just know nothing about. I've turned some friends of mine onto Oasis recently, and they go, fuck, man, they got a lot of good songs that I don't know about. I'm like, well, because America only played those two on a goddamn loop.
Right.
But people who are fans from them, like, you know them from like the UK and other places around the world, know that Wonderwall and Champagne Supernova are like probably their 15th and 16th best song. That's why I asked you to name 5 Nirvana songs. You probably know Smells Like Teen Spirit, and that's about it.
Glycerine.
That's Bush. Okay? Do you like Come As You Are, Lithium? These are all great songs. Half the Man is Stone Temple Pilots.
I know.
Okay, you're doing it on purpose. Breed is the shit. Tell me that song's not amazing.
That's why I named it.
All right, thank you.
I'm not saying they don't have good songs. I'm just saying they're not as good as you remember.
I just think they're fucking better than Pearl Jam, and they only put fucking 4 albums out. Where
Pearl Jam has a lot of albums.
A lot of stuff.
Pearl Jam fans were up there.
Pearl Jam's one of those bands that if they would have died in a plane crash 8 years ago, they'd been better remembered to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, what good? They're the new Rolling Stones. It's like you just want to see them live. And if you see them live and they go, we have a new song, you're like, fuck. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. You know, I like Pearl Jam, but I feel like I have to trash them when anyone says that they're better than Nirvana.
Yeah. I mean, like Nirvana, I mean, you know, you should get into Jason Mraz. I think you'd like the timing of you wearing that shirt and us making this list was,
by the way,
perfect.
I had choices between 2 shirts tonight, and they're both Nirvana shirts. I'm like, do I wear the
You're proving my point now.
Blue one? Or
how many Nirvana shirts do you own?
Right now I only have 2, but at one point I probably
How many posters do you have?
I don't have any posters.
How many posters have rolled up in the corner?
I don't have posters, but when I was a kid, I had Nirvana posters, of course. I had one on the back of my bedroom door.
How do you feel about that kid where he's complaining about that his dick's out or whatever?
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Like, he just wanted relevancy, and he was never going to win that lawsuit anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no one knows who is. Like, if you were at a bar and he was like, I'm the Nirvana baby, you're like, sure you are. Like, no one's going to fucking know. Yeah. It made it seem like women he was hooking up with as a 22-year-old were like, I recognize that dick from anywhere. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is funny when
you were proving my point, my friend. You were proving my point.
Not really. I'm just saying that guy sucks. All right. Here's what's next on my list. Nirvana fans. Country music fans.
I don't consider you one of those, by the way.
I have country music fans. Oh. Which is a wide scope because there's some country music fans that I'm sure are fine. But like, I'll just say this. Maybe I'll make it specific. I'll say Morgan Wallen. I don't give a fuck. And I know people are going to come for me because he's insanely popular right now. Here's my problem with, I saw his concert at Wrigley Field last year. And I know a lot of Wrigley Field employees, and they told me that their fans, the country music fans, are the worst to fucking deal with when they work concerts.
Really?
By far. They treat the Wrigley Field employees like absolute dog shit, where every other fan base of different genres are sweethearts. Fall Out Boy performed on a Wednesday last year, and Morgan Wallen was the next night. They had back-to-back concerts, different ones. They said the Fall Out Boy fans were the sweetest people in the world. Everyone was real nice. Or the Morgan Wallen fans would be like, "Where's the fucking bathroom?" And just and be assholes and be like, you know, give me another fucking beer, and just be completely dipshit. Like all people who were, it's like, is this your first night drinking? Yeah, I thought you guys were badass. Don't fuck with us. We're from a small town type of people, and here you are drinking like you're fucking 16, and you're having your first wine.
But you're right because like we're from fucking small town, so then they feel intimidated being in a big town. And and they feel like they're being judged. So then they are emotionally unavailable and immature. So then they just lash out.
And I was judging.
It's like saying, like Nirvana's a bad band.
And they do have to get drunk as fuck to enjoy those concerts because even look, I'm not a country music fan. I mean, there's specific.
You like outlaw country, I thought.
I like some outlaw country. Yeah. I like true country, which I don't like this arena country, this pop country that's going on. I mean, there's a song here or there that I could be like, yeah, it's a fun tune. Why not, right? But overall,
Kenny Chesney, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some here or there. There's some stuff. You're just gonna keep naming things I don't even know, by the way. But like, what kills me the most is how boring the show was.
Really?
And look, I love live music. Here's what he would do. Like the night before, I saw Fall Out Boy at Wrigley, and I was not a Fall Out Boy. I would never have considered myself a Fall Out Boy fan before that concert. After the concert, I'm like, they're fucking good. They're great live. The singer sounded like he did on like recordings. What was cool about them was they'd play like
sorry to interrupt you. The pop punk music though, I finally saw. I've never seen them live, and I went to the When We Were Young concert. Incredible. They're all incredible.
So good live.
Yeah.
So Fall Out Boy would play like one of their hits that everyone knew, and everyone's going fucking nuts. Then they would roll right into another hit, and everyone's like, oh, holy shit.
Yeah.
They did like 4 mega hits in a row. Then they would take the break to be like, Chicago, so great to be here. Here's a little fun story about the last time we were here. Then slide into it. Morgan Wallen would play a hit everyone would know, then tell a dumb, boring story. Here's another song. Boring story. Not once.
Country's all about storytelling.
No, but it's not good. There's no lyrical poetry behind it. I know that sounds like a little soft, I guess, to say it like that way. But here's their songs. Like, I'm sad because my girl left. I'm this because of them left. Got to drink a little whiskey on a Sunday night. Got to do a little this and have a bullfight. Like it's like a 7-year-old could fucking write those rhymes.
Right. Like almost like Kurt Cobain wrote it.
No, Kurt Cobain had fucking metaphors and fucking real fucking shit. They're like, there's no like hidden meaning. There's no other way to interpret a country song than what is right there on the page.
You know who really hated country fans? The guy from Las Vegas.
Oh, that was a country festival he shot up?
Festival. Sorry.
Take that horrible.
I take that
back, please. Yeah, he takes it back. But like, I just thought, if as a performer, when you have the audience in the palm of your hand, why would you stop that momentum? That's why I like rock music. Right. It's like, we're gonna put our fucking foot on your throat and keep it there.
Yeah, because I don't think they don't have as many songs.
I just was so, and all the opening acts too would do a thing where it's like, this next song was number 3 on the Billboard country charts, and then 2 songs. Every song they told you where it charted. I'm like, how insecure are you?
Yeah,
everyone's here. They bought a ticket. They're here. They're gonna have a good time.
And you're like, try that in a small town.
Stand it.
I would say, you know what's funny, Joe? It's like, were you ever in the country in college? No. I think this is more of a Wisconsin. So I'm from Wisconsin, and I hated country. I hated country, and then all of a sudden, a lot of people in my college, in the summer times, they'd always put country on when we would have like barbecues or play bags outside and stuff like that. So I always attributed like country music to summers. So I actually started enjoying country music, and I do like pop music, pop country. Like Kenny Chesney, like back in the day, Kenny Chesney and stuff like that. There's some really good fucking songs that are like arguably bad. They're not good, but it is weird. You're right though, but like the really hard country fans are fucking annoying. But it used to be like all the hot people liked country, so I liked country.
That's what I think a lot of guys
and
got
I feel like
into.
That's changed a lot.
I just like,
but I agree with you.
I just can't relate to the music because I'm a city person. And so the people listening who are just like, fuck you with your taste. I'm like, no, they're just different. I can't relate to it. And what kills me, and this is me making fun of a lot of the city dudes I grew up with, they went from liking rap, I'm talking about white city boys, a genre that they really can't relate to liking country, another genre they can't relate to. Yeah. Every dude I know who's in their 30s now, or late 30s, who are really into country, they were all diehard rap fans when they were like 15, 16 years old. And it's just, I don't know why. I mean, you could like whatever you want, and you don't have to relate to music to like it, because it's all about, how it hits you.
We're not making fun of the thing. No, we're making fun of the people that love the thing.
Yeah, because I just feel like you should demand more from your art.
Yeah,
my opinion.
Yeah.
All right, what's your number? Your next one?
Mystery Science Theater 3000 people.
You know what? I kind of want to be on your team I will be on your team with that one, because I didn't know what it was at first, and everyone made fun of me for not knowing what it was, to the point where it's like, how do you not know, and how do you not think this is the greatest thing that's ever existed?
For the people that don't know, this might be a little old reference, but it was a show that showed terrible movies, and these 3 comics kind of talked over it, right? And it's annoying, and their jokes aren't funny, never, and you're ruining the movie for me. And this is coming from a person, me, Jonah, who runs a Mystery Science Theater type show.
This is surprising, because that is your show.
So I fucking hate Mystery Science Theater 3000. They revamped it with Jonah, what's his last name?
Jonah Ray.
Jonah Ray, which I almost got a red. Hopefully, I try so hard. Again, I hate the people.
Yeah.
It's just like whenever, and I love bad movies. I fucking love bad movies. Not like Face Off bad. I'm talking like Miami Connection, like Love and Unleashed, like bad movies. Like my favorite podcast is How Did This Get Made? Like I fucking love bad movies. But if I'm expressing to you that, and you're like, I love bad movies too, I'm like, great. And then you're like, I love Mystery Science 3000. I am not watching a movie with you because I don't want to hear your little fucking comments. I want you to laugh at the thing that I'm showing you and shut the fuck up. Like it's the same. It's the people that talk during movies where I'm just like, you got to shut the fuck up. Like I don't care about your quip. Like it's not funny. And then the people that love that, they just love, like there are like with the show that I run, we are starting to get those fans out. And like, it's always this fucking virgin, this 50-year-old virgin in the front row. And then he's like, something happens and he kind of like, he goes, and that's what she said, like to the audience. And I'm always like, shut the fuck up. Like, let the comedians do their job. Like, yeah. I know that you haven't seen a boob in fucking years and you've ran out of porn to watch. So now all you have are these fucking movies that I love. You're ruining my movies that I love. I fucking hate those idiots.
I am shocked by this, man. I would have thought you liked that.
It's weird because I'm part of their community and I fucking hate them so much.
Oh my God.
It sucks when you're part of a community and you hate them, just like gay people. I was kidding. Because everybody thinks I'm gay. Which I get.
Thinks it? No, I'm fucking with you.
I know. But like, God damn it, those fucking people suck.
Okay, I tell this real quick. Austin, our producer. No, I'm not going to tell it. Never mind. It makes me look bad. Fucking forget it. I was going to tell the text
I have to hear it.
Talk about me.
The text exchange that we had earlier today. That's more for us. Forget it. Sorry, listeners.
No, I want to know. Is it about me?
No. Oh. We got to move on because I'm not going to talk about it anyway. All right, my next one. I have Taylor Swift fans.
Ooh,
Swifties. Look, I've got family. I've got a lot of good friends who are in the Taylor Swift camp. And I get it. Look, you know, she's got a lot of hits, and this tour. I've heard stories where people were like, I got dragged by my girlfriend or my wife, but God damn it, it was actually an amazing show. You know, whatever. Fine. I just think her fan base is fucking toxic, and it's the second half of her fan base, the older half. You're
Why
13, 14-year-old. Because of anytime anyone says anything about her bad, they go fucking insane. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have an opinion on her without being bombarded to the point where people, when they type her name into things, will spell it wrong, where you know what you're spelling, but it won't show up in searches. Right? They'll be like, you know, Taylor and then like S, like, you know, hashtag, and like they'll just do different things so that, because it's.
What's your thoughts on
bleep it?
What's your thoughts on the football fans that hate her?
Them, I think, are kind of dumb because they only show up for like 30 seconds a game.
Doesn't matter.
They make it seem like it's like, dude, she's the biggest star. She is. Like, this is regardless of what
so
you
much
think
more
of her music.
eyes to
I'm not the biggest
to a company that was dying, not dying, but was losing a lot of steam.
NFL? I don't know how true that is. People write more
numbers were really down, except for the Super Bowl, of course. But
people write more articles about the NFL losing steam, but it was really just Thursday Night Football that was bad. But that was a horrible product.
True,
and it was too much. You have Sundays, you have Mondays. You don't need to grab another day of the week. Really dumb. Hold on, let me finish though. I didn't get to finish. So with the NFL people, it's like you have to accept the fact that he's one of the biggest stars in the game, and look, I don't really like her music all that much, but you can't deny she is the biggest star in the world.
Right.
She just is. They're going to talk about it. You're stupid to think they won't, blah, blah, blah. But with her fan base, there's a thing that happened. Dave Grohl's daughter, who's like probably like a teenager, she's an environmentalist. And she said something. I don't know, you dickhead.
Kidding.
She had a thing where it was like, Taylor Swift needs to stop flying private everywhere. It's insane what she's doing.
Oh, because
She's like the worst defender of flying private, and her fans went after her.
Yeah.
So Dave Grohl's like, you're going after my daughter, I'm gonna fucking give you a little shit. Maybe he didn't need to do that. Surprising, because Dave Grohl's known as like the nicest dude in fucking music or nicest celebrity out there. He's like the music version of Keanu Reeves. Every story you hear about him is great.
A quick Dave Grohl story.
Sure.
Right, that I've told you before, but not on the podcast. I had friends that went to Madison. They were in a band and they were jamming, right? And then they get a knock on the door. They open it up. It's Dave Grohl and his drummer, whoever. And they were like, hey, we heard you playing. And they're like, yeah. And they're like, hey, can we jam with you for a little bit? And they went to their apartment, their tiny apartment, and they just jammed with them for like an hour. And they had shared a couple beers or whatever. And they just left. And they were like the nicest. I hope that you and I get that famous, and you won't do it for them, but I would do it for somebody.
Fuck off. I would do it.
That'd be sweet. That'd be amazing.
I think I'm more likely
if we get a knock on the door
like
Dane Cook's here. He's like, I hear you guys doing a podcast. I'll do it. I'm like, fuck yeah, Dane Cook.
Who's more likely to? I'm more likely to be nice to some comedian that's new than you are.
I don't know about that. You think so?
100%.
But
not that you're mean to them. I'm just more approachable.
I'm talking about fans.
Well, I was just thinking of the comedy equivalent of that. Oh, if some
you are more approachable.
If some fan,
which is weird
because
you're scary.
Hang out.
Why are you more approachable than I am? You're scary. I'm quiet.
I'm not scary. I just lose my temper.
That's scary.
Yeah, but it's not like it's every day.
It feels like it is.
Once in a while. It feels like it is. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But like that's so Dave Grohl then just said something like, we're gonna call her tour is the Eras tour, ours gonna be the Errors. Because
fun.
sometimes
Yeah.
and then he goes, you're gonna make some mistakes when you actually play live. So I hinted that they're not actually playing live, her thing. And then she snapped back, and all of the Taylor Swift fans were like, who the fuck is Dave Grohl anyway? And it's like only one of the most influential musicians of the last 35 years. No big deal, right? Like, so that's why I don't like, you're showing your ignorance. Yeah, he was the drummer for the best band of the 90s. And you could argue the Foo Fighters were probably a top 5 band of the 2000s. Oh, they were a band? Salt and Pepper? Really? I totally forgot that Salt was a fucking amazing keyboardist.
What are you
saying?
What is a band? Isn't
they
everything
play
a band?
Instruments.
I know, I'm fucking yeah. So do you like Taylor Swift, her music?
There's some Taylor Swift songs
right?
I like.
They're good.
Yeah, there's some.
So
overall, I don't think she's as amazing as people bring her out to be. She could be a little bland.
My girlfriend went to a Taylor Swift concert in New York. She's not a big...
I saw her live in 2011. Pretty good show.
Was it good?
Yeah,
I heard she's great live.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it sucks.
It's production value.
This is kind of the purpose of this list. It sucks because it's like, I do enjoy her music, and I kind of actually enjoy her as a person. She seems like she means well, but her fans are just too fucking insanely into it. Where you're like, and that was what I think that's what what my girlfriend said too. Where she's just like, it's just this audience is great.
The adult fans.
Just, who's the
13-year-olds I could forgive.
You know who's freaking out the most with it? She was sitting right next to Aaron Rodgers.
He was there going nuts.
He's
for
just
Taylor
going
Swift?
because he's.
Well, yeah, we all know that.
But he was just like, oh my god, Taylor! Like he was like doing that.
And I don't have this guy's fans on the list, but I'm remembering they're similar too. Joe
and
Rogan
Ramsey
fans
was there too.
Joe Rogan fans are similar. Where if you mention Joe Rogan at all, you can't have an opinion about him without his fan base being sick on you.
He almost was on my list.
He's not, but I almost feel like he's right up there with Swift. I should almost do like Swift/Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like it's just weird. If you're such a diehard fan of something, you have to be able to like relax if someone talks shit about it.
Yeah.
Unless they're saying horrible things about Nirvana, and then it makes complete sense.
See, you proved my point. Okay, I'm gonna put these two together because I think they're the same. Deadheads and people that do ayahuasca.
Okay, I like that because they don't shut the fuck up about it.
Because they don't shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
First off, deadheads, I'm sorry, you smell bad. Like, shut the fuck up. Also,
like patchouli.
Dress differently. What are you doing? Like, it's embarrassing. And more importantly, it's
Everyone
like,
has their
and
uniform.
also, I get it. Ayahuasca, you had a life-changing moment. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's so great. Shut the fuck up.
What is ayahuasca again? You just do drugs and sweat? What is it?
It's like a very heavy hallucinogen. Can you say that word for me?
Hallucinogen.
Thank you. Well, you can't do it either. Ooh, can you say it?
Hallucinogen?
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's so I'm not making fun of her, but a past guest, Liz Zagone, does it because her sister does it.
Real quick, how long in this podcast are we?
You're about an hour and 15 in.
Fuck
Shit,
yeah,
we
we're having
really
a great time.
we got to
Having a
wrap
great
this
time.
up. No,
Great
we got to
time.
wrap this up.
Great time. I love bitching about people, but
I know, but I'm getting hungry and I have to go home.
Oh, so the whole point is like you're supposed to have this like come to Jesus moment, right? Where you like cry and like let all stuff out, and so like life changing, you're all together and all this stuff. Which I think, again, it's like with music, it's like I understand the importance of what you did, but I don't need to fucking hear about it every time I'm around you.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm not gonna do it. And no, I'm not. This is not the one time I'm gonna enjoy a drug trip. Like it's not. If you know what? Fuck deadheads. I'm more about the ayahuasca people.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. I hate the people that are like, oh man, no, but you'll love it. I'm like, no, I can't even do a milligram of
a gummy.
Yeah, I can't even do like an edible without freaking the fuck out. I think the fact that I need somebody next to me to feed me water, I don't think that's going to be a good outcome for me. And they're gonna be like,
it's like, and
they're like, oh, you're gonna really work out your mom shit. I'm like, guess what? I don't want to work out my mom shit. That's why I've been shoving it down for so long. Do you think I want that to come out? There's a reason why I shove it down.
A real American. Look
yeah,
at it, man.
Yeah.
But like, dude,
I'm also Irish, so it's like, and English, Dutch, and Welsh. I shove that shit down with
push
alcohol.
That shit down. God damn it, let's drink.
Let me drink it away.
Alcohol is your Wauwatosa or whatever it's called.
But you know what's funny?
Wauwatosa? What's it called?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
I'm from Wauwatosa.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But like, dude, it's one of those things where these people try to sell you on it so much. It's like, you're just turning me off.
Shut up.
All you're doing is turning me off.
And also, like, I don't want to have to go on a trip to get high. Question for you before we go to the last two. What guy are you that people hate other than Nirvana thing?
Probably just a Nirvana fan or just an obsessive sports fan, probably.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I think the drinking thing for me. because I love to drink and I like to get people drunk. And I think that it's probably like, dude, shut up. I get it. You drank. Shut up.
I mean, it would only be bad if you were one of those. Here's the drinkers I hate. We should save this for another episode. What style of drinkers, like the most annoying types of drinkers?
Oh, good.
Because my most annoying types of drinkers are the people who are like, dude, I had like 8 beers last night. Why are you counting?
Oh, I know.
What are you, fucking 16?
Do I do that? I think I do that.
You shouldn't do that. Once you hit a certain age, counting how many drinks you had the night before, the night after is just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, I don't know if you've had this. As I got older, when I heard about people who were like, dude, I get drunk after 3 beers, I go, oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, no, I hate that.
You get drunk after 3 beers? That sounds amazing. Dude, you know how cheap 3 beers is and how quick it is to drink 3 beers? You're getting to the finish line before the rest of us. That to me, that's like saying I could read 400 pages in 2 hours. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
that's cool to me.
Well, that's my problem, Joe, is because of the no hangover thing. I never had to figure out where my finish line was.
Nice.
My finish line is just waking up the next day.
Yeah, which is great. But either way, don't you want to get to the finish line quicker? I'd like to.
No, I don't.
Well, if the point is to get drunk.
Okay. What's your...
All right, my next one.
What's your 4? This is 4? 3. This is 4.
This is 4 for me. I'm just gonna say it real quick, but it's a hater thing. White Sox fans. Growing up in the city of Chicago, I couldn't stand White Sox fans. It was the White Sox,
I'm so
Chicago
excited you
Cubs.
just said this. Yeah.
Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox have a huge rivalry. It's soured, or it's gotten weaker over the years, sadly, because there's so many transplants who have ruined it. Whenever I hear someone goes, I root for both, I go, you suck. All right? Because if you grew up here, if you're a real Chicagoan, you have to pick one early on. They stamp your birth certificate, Cubs or Sox. That's how that fucking works. And what killed me about Sox fans is no matter
they
what. They
don't really do that, Joe.
No, they should, though. What they do, Sox fans.
When you become comptroller?
When I become comptroller, I do that. When Sox fans fucking, like, you could literally ask them, hey, what'd the Sox do today? They're like, they lost, but the Cubs still suck. It's like, we're not talking about the Cubs right now. I was genuinely asking you a question.
Yeah.
They have such like a stepchild syndrome, you know what I mean? And they always acted like they were the 27 Yankees or something.
Right.
Like when they won their World Series in 2005, to give them an edge, that was their third in their franchise's history, third in like 100 and something year history. To the Cubs, 2 in 100 and something year history. They acted like we're the Yankees. We win all the time. Like, no, you don't. Both of our franchises are fucking pathetic in the whole big scope of things, grand scheme of things. And you guys walk around like your fucking shit doesn't stink. But guess what? It stinks. It stinks like shit.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stand that
Frank
South
Thomas,
Side fucking attitude. Oh, he was awesome. I did love Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
But like,
Big Hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I could like individual players on their team, but their fan base, even though I've got a lot of good friends, great friends who are Sox fans, their fan base as a whole just always rubbed me the wrong way. And I hate the people who try to root for both because you're ruining what was once a great rivalry. And so I just want to talk about that real quick because I think most of our nationalists just give a fuck about that one. So go on to your next one, please.
My number 4, this is perfect. Cubs fans. You guys fucking suck, man. You're
the
worst
Brewers
people.
fan?
As a Brewer fan, yeah, fuck you. It's like I'm walking down the Brewer hat down Wrigleyville. I'm being called gay all the time. Oh, it's just because I'm from Milwaukee. That's where I was born, you idiot. It's the same thing where you're like, oh, you get stamped this, you get stamped that. You're just from the North Side. That's the only reason you're a Cubs fan. If you were from the South Side, you'd be a White Sox fan. And also, I don't give a shit. And like, okay, cool. You have troughs in your fucking Wrigleyville says troughs. Gross.
Wrigley Field has troughs, which is great though because it makes
It's not good.
peeing faster. Makes peeing faster.
No, it doesn't.
Dude, urinals develop lines. When it's all urinals, lines happen. It
You
takes
don't think a
longer.
line
You miss
happens
more
at
of
a
the game.
trough? Oh,
no, it
you know
doesn't.
what I love
My
to do?
dad,
You know what I love to
do,
Joe? I love to pee on pee. That's my favorite thing in the whole entire world. Is watch a river of pee, and I get to add to that river and pee on it. That's fun. And guess what? Oh, you know what's even better than that? The warmth and it's so thick. The warmth and the smell from that. You know what I love to do is pee on a bunch of dehydrated pee. That's my favorite. And also, your food fucking sucks.
What do you mean the food sucks? Small Cheval is in the bleachers now.
Yeah, you go to the bleachers.
Hot dogs
and the bleachers also, I get it, a snake. Oh, let's all hold cups together. Other
fan bases have done that.
Fuck you.
Also, you know who loves the cup snakes? The people who clean up at the end of the thing because they're all fucking cleaned up. They're all right there.
And also, you have digital what you want to be as wiener races, and it's like we have the real wiener races in Wisconsin. So shut the fuck up.
This is what I don't like.
And also, you know what's cool about Wisconsin and Milwaukee and the Brewers is that they, for years during the 2000s, that used to be like the wiener races were planned and they had people that ran. So like, oh, this person's whatever. Then they were like, hey, what if we just let people actually run for real? And they picked people and they've been drinking all day. So people were blowing ACLs out left and right. And it's so funny to watch the videos of people crashing and hurting themselves because It's such, and you know why I don't like Cubs fans? You can't handle your alcohol. You get angry, just like your White Sox fans. You get angry and you get pissy, and they fight all the time. And like, I live in Wrigley now, and I have to walk behind you fucks. I'm trying to get to the gym, or I'm trying to get to CVS, not Walgreens. Very pissy about that. And you don't know how to walk. Shut the fuck up. You are horrible people.
Yeah. Okay. Two things, because we really have to button this episode. One, you're hilarious to me because you hate Mystery Science Theater, and yet you do a show that is Mystery Science Theater.
And I do like the Cubs.
You hate Cubs fans.
And I love
you moved 2 blocks from Wrigley Field,
which I was so excited about, too.
You split Cubs season tickets.
Yeah. I love going to the games. I just hate you fans. Oh, God. And I have a sitness of these all-time...
And pretend like Wisconsin fans, if I walked around wearing Cubs shit in Wisconsin, they wouldn't call me fucking names.
Not anymore. We're better now. And you know why we like White Sox fans? This is why I like... Because White Sox fans used to drive... This is your rivalry, which I love your guys' rivalry. And I agree with you. You should pick a side, right? It's more fun.
Pick a team.
So you're right. And also, I don't like the White... But the White Sox stadium is so much cleaner and better and just... whatever. But like White Sox fans used to drive up to Brewer games to make fun of Cubs fans. And
really?
Yes.
Fucking assholes. But you know what the thing is? You guys were big rivalries one day, or at one point, because the White Sox were in the Brewers were in the American League.
Yeah.
So
and I mean, I know. Yes, I'm
sorry,
a
I'm looking
fan,
at my phone, guys. I'm trying to.
But
get
also,
my
like you guys, and also like, stop throwing up. Cubs fans throw up all the time. Learn how to drink, like, or not. Don't drink that much. And guess what? I get it. You have a backwards hat on. Stop wearing your hat backwards.
Okay. Well, I
you
will
look
say this.
dumb.
Cubs fans and Wrigley Field fans are slightly separate because Wrigley Field is a massive tourist attraction because it's the second oldest ballpark in America.
What do you do outside of stand up?
I don't say, so don't even ask.
Oh, okay.
I've never said it out loud.
Okay.
So or publicly, I don't.
Sorry,
say it.
I didn't know that.
No, it's okay. You didn't know.
He
so
works at Best Buy.
I work at Best Buy. Thank you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I got some polos for you.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. I will admit there are some Wrigley Field fans that I've almost gotten into fights with people at Cubs games because they've been obnoxious as shit. The thing is, though, Wrigley Field sells out more often, so you're going to have more fake fans with sellouts.
True.
So I try not to judge those fan bases too harshly. Where Brewers games and Sox games, definitely. Sox are always one of the worst in attendance. Brewers are probably in the middle.
Pretty good.
You guys are probably like 15th or 16th, where we're always like at least top 8 usually. Right. When we're winning, we're top 3
Well, isn't
or 4.
that annoying that people come to your stadium as a tourist attraction, not because they like the Cubs?
Well, it's a little bit of both, though, because when the team's bad, our numbers are bad. 2 years ago, we were like right where you guys were.
So
you guys
you're always bad.
No, that's not. I know you're trying to be funny, but sometimes you have to listen too.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I listen to you.
You guys were ranked. You guys averaged like 31,000 fans a game 2 years ago. We were like 32,000. So we're only 1,000 more, and your city is half the size of our city. So like really, that was more impressive that the Brewers were so close. Right. My point is, when the Cubs are really bad, true Cubs fans will try to stay away. But again, you go to Chicago in the summer. There's a lot of things outside of baseball that made Ferris Bueller's Day Off and all these other movies that show off how cool Wrigley Field is. And it's 110-year-old stadium.
Great. And
so
it's
does it
cool
make me upset that like tourists show up not giving a fuck about the game? Yeah, it does. It does, totally. All right, here's my last fan base, and you do yours. And again, I don't like doing an hour-and-a-half long episodes, so I apologize.
We also only
listeners.
have 6 minutes on the card.
We got it.
All right, LeBron James fans. They're my number one worst.
Oh, fuck, I love LeBron James.
We're not going to build the list together, by the way. We don't have time, so we're just
fine.
doing our own top 5s. I'm sorry, listeners, that we're being really fucking chaotic right now. We love each other.
This is fun.
It's fun, though. It's good debates. I like this. We can lean more toward this stuff. Here's why LeBron James fans are. They're the softest fan base ever. They always move the fucking needle. Throughout human history, there were certain like measurements to measure greatness. Certain things where it's like, you achieve this. It's greatness. LeBron James fans, because their guy didn't fall in those categories, had to keep changing the thing. Oh, it's a team game. It shouldn't matter if you know. Listen, basketball, it does matter because you're 20% of the team. That's the only sport where one player could get the ball when it matters most. You know what I mean? So when your guy fucking chokes, that shit is on him. They always go, well, he made up for that. No. You can't erase failure. You failed in your prime in 2011 NBA Finals against Dallas epically. You were the reason your team
you hate
lost.
LeBron James more than you hate his fans. And I agree with you.
We're
Jordan guys.
It's his fans. I consider LeBron James the second or third greatest player of all time. And when I say that,
Is
I'm
Kobe
called
up
a hater. Kobe is not even in my top 5.
Really?
And I love Kobe for a lot of reasons, but I just can't have him in my top 5. He's top 10 for sure. And people could argue with me about that too. But look, LeBron James is probably second or third all time.
Yeah.
And I'm called a hater. Imagine saying someone's the second greatest to ever do a thing and you're called a hater.
Right.
They don't know basketball.
Yeah.
They'll show there'll be Jordan highlights in the 90s and they'll be like, oh, that's good defense. I'm like, no, he made separation. He put good moves on and created a shot.
Right.
That's like the people who like will watch the NFL and be like, oh, that receiver was wide open. What shit defense? I'm like, no, he was wide open because he ran a perfect route.
Yeah, and also
Jordan
is still drunk from the night before.
Yeah, dude, like mad
It's
respect
insane.
for that guy. What he was doing. Smoking cigars before games.
And he's stopping the mob from murdering his dad. Didn't do a good job of that. But like it's
that's a whole nother podcast episode. But anyway, go ahead. What's your number one?
Okay, so I was gonna put WNBA originals, which are people now because of the whole Caitlin Clark thing, where they're like, well, I've been listening to him for forever.
Oh, yeah.
I've been watching him since you didn't fucking know.
Those people for everything are annoying.
It's the same thing with football people, where it's just like, yeah, I understand the annoyance of Taylor Swift, but it's bringing a lot more eyes to the company that you love so much. Same thing with WNBA. I understand, yes, you are right, but she's bringing eyes and money to a company that needs it. So just appreciate it. And I understand you've been listening since day one. But we came up with a better one, Austin and I did, which I think is good, is fans of Nazis.
They are the worst.
They are the worst.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you like Nazis, you suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't support fans of Nazis.
I do not either.
Yeah. Great uniforms.
That's like the old Seinfeld bit where it's like the apparel wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, I was against the genocide, hatred, and murder and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. But I would say fans of Nazis are probably the worst. They're almost as bad as Cubs fans.
Just they're neck and neck with that.
They're
one.
neck and neck.
Yeah, man. It is weird to see Americans. There's a Nazi uprising. It feels like we're seeing more and more. Maybe we're just seeing
Not a fan of
videos.
that.
Maybe they were always around, but now we have videos of everything.
Yeah.
That's the thing about modern society, where it's like, is this a new thing, or it's like,
Yeah.
no, we just could film it quicker.
I would say the thing that we both agree on. Not a fan of Nazi fans.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck Nazis, man.
Fuck Nazis.
Let's Get Dumb podcast has always been about fuck the Nazis. But it is weird because it's like you're like a proud American and you're supporting our enemy from World War II.
Right.
That's so fucked up to me.
You're supporting a
Loser
failed
mentality.
painter.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know that's fucking hilarious.
And they
too,
don't
dude.
like art. You know they don't like
They
art.
don't like art. So these
And
fucking
yeah.
tough fucking look at me,
Oh,
man.
fucking,
True American. I'm gonna fucking fuck you with
I don't like
American
nerds
team.
and gays. I'm like, well, Hitler was a nerd and a gay. Like he's.
By the way, that haircut was very
stupid, dude.
Yeah.
He probably had a micro penis too.
Oh, for sure. So
Yeah.
you're like a small dick fucking painter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little
Failed
art
painter.
school dropout.
Yeah.
That's your hero.
Yeah.
Real soft.
That would have
Real
been. What if that's
All
the
fake tough guys.
fork in the road where if he was actually a good painter, he'd been like an incredible painter. Like he'd be the. I don't want to go down this route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll save it for next
Yeah.
week.
I don't like this.
More Hitler to come on episode 51.
Do you have any
of Let's Get Dumb.
runners up? Do you want to mention before we not talk about, but just runners up?
No, I don't actually. And I'm worried that the SIM card's about to fucking run out too.
Okay.
So everyone, thanks for listening to Let's Get Dumb. Listen to previous episodes to hear our normal plugs at the end. We love you guys. We are only at episode 50. This thing is we've only just begun. All right. That's how it's going to get bigger and better going forward. We love you guys. Cheers. Hog Squad. Only Hog Squad of the day.